This is Paul Pogba. In his prime, he was one of the best midfielders in the world. A four-time Serie A winner and a World Cup champion with France. Yet despite winning some pretty major honours, many believe that Paul Pogba was capable of a much better career. And so today, people, we are rewinding to the very start of his career. We're going to keep track of all of his stats, all of his trophies, and we're going to compare it to his real-life career season by season. We are also going to simulate every single transfer window to see what new clubs Paul Pogba ends up playing for. In real life, he played for Manchester United, Juventus, and recently signed a new contract with Monaco. But in this resim, who will Pogba play for? Will he stay at Manchester United and become a club legend? Will he still end up signing for Juventus, just like he did in real life? Or will we see Paul Pogba play for some completely different clubs? Let's find out together. My name is themasterbucks. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. So here is Paul Pogba in FIFA 12, and as you can see, he's got a very, very low 55 overall. That is nowhere near good enough to get into a starting 11, which has Michael Carrick, Ji-Sung Park, Darren Fletcher, and more. He's only 18 years of age. We know his overall is going to absolutely skyrocket in a couple of years, but for now, he'll be lucky to even be coming off of the bench. But regardless, let's now simulate the first season of Paul Pogba's professional career. Well, it does look like he's managed to play a handful of games. He's got 6 appearances, all in the Premier League. He managed to score a goal in those appearances as well, so he got his debut goal against Everton, and he also provided 2 assists in those games as well. Manchester United also won the Premier League this season, so no Aguero goal in extra time to win it for Manchester City. And because Paul Pogba has made more than 5 appearances, he's got himself a medal. Paul Pogba, in the first professional season of his career, is a Premier League champion. He's got himself a Premier League title straight away, something he couldn't even do in his real life career. Not a bad start at all. We've made it to the end of the season, and now it is time to simulate the transfer window. And here is how we're going to do it every season. I'll explain it once. Instead of staying with Manchester United, we are going to join a completely different club. We're then going to advance into the next season and begin simulating the transfer window. Once we have reached the end of the transfer window, we will search for Paul Pogba, and we're going to find out if he has stayed or if he has moved. So let's begin simulating the transfer window. Has Paul Pogba got himself a transfer already in season 1? No, he hasn't. He is still with Manchester United. In real life, in this transfer window, he actually joined Juventus on a free, but in this resim, he is still a Manchester United player. So let's move on then with him still at Manchester United in FIFA 13. I'm on top of the world, hey. So here we are in FIFA 13, and Paul Pogba is still in a Manchester United shirt. He should be in a Juventus shirt, but of course, in this resim, he is still a Manchester United player. He's up now to 72 overall, which is definitely a lot better, but still probably not good enough to start in this team. Paul Scholes has been brought back to make it even less likely. Carrick 81 rated, yeah. There's just no cracking into this team yet. But anyway, let's simulate now this 2013 season with him still at Manchester United. How do things change for Paul Pogba this time? Well, Manchester United do win the Premier League title again in 2013, but with this time Paul Pogba as part of the mix. That means he's now got 2 Premier League titles. How about that? Not bad considering he got none in real life. Manchester United also managed to win the FA Cup in this season as well. Paul Pogba's already up to 3 trophies in his career, and he's only like 19. It's not perfect for Manchester United, however. They somehow fell out of the group stage of the Champions League, so no treble exactly for Paul Pogba. He will, however, end up with 20 appearances with 4 goals and 5 assists. So that is not too bad, I suppose, for coming off of the bench like that. In real life, Paul Pogba won his first Serie A title and also managed to get 5 assists in that season. But now looking at his resim and his real life stats, you can see that Paul Pogba in real life won a Serie A title this season, and he's got 43 appearances and 5 goals. Not too bad. But in his resim so far, he's played 26 games only, but still got 5 goals and 7 assists now. Oh, and instead of a Serie A and a Super Coppa, he's got 2 Premier League titles and now an FA Cup. Not bad at all. We have again arrived to the end of the season. Once again, we're going to leave Manchester United, join a completely different club. We've advanced through again another transfer window. Has Paul Pogba moved? Let's search up his name, send it away. Has he left Manchester United? The answer is no. He is still at Manchester United. He's climbing an overall. He's going for a 3rd straight Premier League title. Why would you want to leave? Right on then, let's move over then to FIFA 14. Now here we are in FIFA 14. Again, Paul Pogba is still rocking that Manchester United jersey. He is still in this team. However, this season, people, Paul Pogba is up to 79 overall, knocking on the door of an 80 rating, and he is definitely good enough to start now for Manchester United. We should see a pretty significant jump in his appearances for the season. Hopefully, it'll be around that maybe 30-40 mark. Now, this season, of course, Manchester United weren't that great. Of course, Alex Ferguson left and had David Moyes take them over. They came 7th. What with Paul Pogba can they do though? Are they able to go back to back in the Premier League and win it again? The answer is yes. They have won a 3rd Premier League in a row. Paul Pogba, in every season he's played for Manchester United, has won a Premier League title. There is no banter era or beginning of a banter era for Manchester United. They win it here with 88 points. A 3rd straight Premier League title for Manchester United, and all it took for him was just to hang on to Paul Pogba. 3 Premier League titles at the age of just 20 is absolutely outrageous, but Manchester United have done it again. They almost won a Capital One Cup, but not quite, unfortunately. Lost in the final, and in the FA Cup, they didn't make the final of it either. So, no back-to-back in the FA Cup, but 3 Prems. And how about this season for Paul Pogba? 35 appearances. He got himself, again, 5 goals, but this time 8 assists. At Juventus this season in real life, he had quite a great season. He had 51 games. He got 9 goals and 15 assists, which means his goal contribution tally is way better in real life, but his trophy cabinet is looking pretty damn good in the resim. They may both have 4 trophies at this stage, but I think most people are taking 3 Premier Leagues and an FA Cup over 2 Serie A titles and 2 Super Coppas. But now that we've made it to the end of the 2014 season, it is time now for the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Now, in real life, France made it all the way to the quarterfinals, getting eliminated in the end by the eventual winners in Germany. Paul Pogba didn't have much of an impact at this World Cup. He wasn't huge for France, but in this resim, is that going to change? Let's simulate the group stage made up of Switzerland, Ecuador, France, of course, and Honduras. Where are France going to finish this time? France, in the end, were able to finish top of the group with just 5 points, but first place in the group nonetheless. This time around, however, it looks like France is going to be taking on Bosnia and Herzegovina. In real life, they had to play Nigeria in the round of 16. How does this game go? Oh my goodness, there's no way! Bosnia beat France in this resim. It's a disaster. That is insane. All right, well, Pogba didn't win the World Cup in 2014 in real life. He won it in 2018. So I guess we still haven't won that World Cup with him yet, but we will have other opportunities. Maybe not having the greatest time internationally, but at club level, he's going pretty bloody good. Now, before we continue on, people, I just want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Odoo. Odoo is an all-in-one business management platform packed full of apps to help you run and grow your business. And one of their most powerful apps is their CRM app, designed to help you manage leads, close deals, and keep customers happy. And getting started is super simple. The CRM dashboard gives you a clear pipeline view so you can track every opportunity from first contact to the final sale. You can drag and drop each opportunity between stages, assign them to your sales team, and even automate follow-up so that nothing slips through the cracks. With built-in analytics, you'll always know which deals are moving and where to focus your time. And to close these deals, you send a beautiful quotation to the client right within the task. And just like with all of Odoo's other tools, their CRM app connects seamlessly to all their other applications so you can run your business from the one place. And the best part, your first Odoo app is completely free for life.
with unlimited hosting and support, and even a free domain name for an entire year. So if you're ready to organize your leads and close more sales, then be sure to check out Odoo's CRM app today by clicking the link at the top of the description. Once again, big thank you to Odoo for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into it.
Life's going pretty bloody good for Pogba at Manchester United, and he's only getting bigger and better. It would be pretty nuts if he did leave now with it going so well, but who knows? Has Paul Pogba moved clubs? The answer is yes! We have seen our first transfer in the re-simmed career of Paul Pogba, and it's Real Madrid. Wow, what a pickup, what a move. Paul Pogba will not be going to Italy. He will not be staying at Manchester United. He's going to a brand new team. He's become a Madridster. He's going to be joining Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid. Well, let's do it then, people. Let's continue Paul Pogba's career, but now at Real Madrid in FIFA 15. So here we are in FIFA 15, people, and Paul Pogba is in the starting lineup for Real Madrid. And goddamn, does this Real Madrid shirt sure suit him. It looks good on him. A midfield of Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and Paul Pogba, Cristiano Ronaldo and Pogba teammates. It's insane. It wasn't the best season ever for Real Madrid, this 2014-15 season. They had to watch their bitter rivals in Barcelona win the treble. But with Paul Pogba now a Real Madrid man, will things change? Remember, he has won the league in every single season he's played so far. Will that still be the case, or does it come to an end in his first season at Real Madrid? Look at that. Real Madrid will top the table in La Liga in 2015. Absolutely insane. 4 league titles out of 4 seasons for Paul Pogba. It's mental. Barcelona will not win the 2015 La Liga title. It's gonna belong to Paul Pogba and Real Madrid. And it's lifted up by the captain, Sergio Ramos. There we go. A 5th trophy for Paul Pogba already. He's still only like 21 years old. And what if I told you it's gonna get even better with them winning the Spanish Cup this season as well? They knocked out Barcelona in the semis to go on and win the Copa del Rey. And what if I told you it still gets even better? Let's simulate the final. Will it be Real Madrid or will it be Barcelona that win the Champions League? It will be Real Madrid that win the Champions League and complete the treble in 2015. Cristiano Ronaldo scores both of the goals in the final for Real Madrid. What an unbelievable season. Paul Pogba in his first season at Real Madrid has won a treble. Are we for real right now? And look at the impact that he has had in this team as well. It's very obvious. 40 appearances. He's got 15 goals from midfield and 8 assists. That is fantastic. In real life, Paul Pogba had played about 135 games at this point in his career, got 24 goals and 25 assists with a couple of Serie A titles here and there. But in this re-sim, he's got almost the exact same goal contributions, but from like 30 less games played, and he's now got a treble plus 4 league titles. I mean, what in the hell? If Paul Pogba is able to maintain this outrageous level of winning throughout his entire career, he's going to go on to become easily one of the best midfielders ever. An incredibly successful first season at Real Madrid. We're not going to bother simulating the transfer window because he only just got here. We will move straight on into the next season. Let's head on over to FIFA 16. Here we are in FIFA 16, trying to find a way to recreate the best possible start to a new club career here for Paul Pogba. He's now playing here in a bit of a more advanced midfield role here, so that might hopefully increase his goal contributions even more. And he is up now to an 86 overall at just 22 years of age, and he's going to get a little higher rated than that. This isn't even his prime yet. Will he keep his league title winning streak alive? Again, a reminder, we are still waiting for a season where he fails to win the league. The streak is alive! It's 5 in a row for Paul Pogba, and this time it was a little bit closer. But with a game to go, we cannot be caught, and Real Madrid will win the 2016 La Liga title. In the Copa del Rey, they will win it as well. Somehow Sevilla actually beat Barcelona in the semis, so maybe a slightly easier match, and it shows. 4-1 victory. But in the Champions League, however, we will not be winning the same Champions Champions League that Real Madrid won in 2016. Instead, it's going to get won by Bayern Munich. And look who eliminated Real Madrid in the 2016 quarterfinals. It was Bayern Munich, and pretty comfortably too. They then go on to win it. So there will be no back-to-back treble, unfortunately, for Real Madrid, but they will take 2 Spanish trophies. And having a look at Paul Pogba's stats for this season, it's his best season yet. We've got 52 appearances, 23 goals in his advanced, position, and 9 assists as well. The recent Paul Pogba is now up to 9 trophies in his career. He's now got quite a fair few more goals than the real life Pogba as well. His assists are a little bit behind, but his way more goals definitely makes up for that. It's interesting too, obviously, because of the fact that both the resim and real life Paul Pogba both have 9 trophies at this stage, but all of the real life Pogba's trophies are from Italy. While the recent Paul Pogba has got a La Liga and Premier League title, multiple of them, and a Champions League. I think the recent Pogba is winning so far. Another outstanding season with Paul Pogba at Real Madrid, but now we are simulating the transfer window. Once again, we accept a contract with a different club, so we leave Real Madrid and we start simulating the transfer window. Does Paul Pogba leave Real Madrid? Paul Pogba is still at Real Madrid after simulating the transfer window. Why would you want to leave? Things are going so well. So Paul Pogba will stay at Real Madrid as we move to FIFA 17. Now, of course, in real life, this was the season that Paul Pogba left Juventus to go back to Manchester United for that £100 million transfer. Pogba was one of the biggest transfers of all time back in the day, but here in this resim, he is still a Real Madrid man. He is not going anywhere. He's not going back to Manchester United, not unless we simulate the transfer window at the end of the season. Otherwise, he's staying put. He's in more of a advanced midfield position this season, so hopefully he might get slightly better goal contributions being in this area. He's up now to 88 overall, which, I mean, fair enough for the career that he has had so far. Can he keep the trophies coming? Can he continue to win every single league title he has ever competed in? No, he cannot! It's finally come to an end. His streak of league titles is over. Barcelona have won the league in the end by a single goal on goal difference. Atletico Madrid finish ahead of us, and honestly, we're not even close. We're 8 points away. That is such a disappointment, but oh well, it's fine. We had to go trophyless eventually. You can't win a trophy every single season of your career. We will get, though, 15 goals and 7 assists for Paul Pogba this season. That takes his total now up to 63 goals and 39 assists in his recent career from, like, way less games, from 40 less games played. He is a much more deadly threat going forward, that's for sure, in this recent. In his real-life career this season, though, he did win the Carabao Cup and the Europa League with Manchester United. So, to be honest, I have to say, I think the real-life Paul Pogba definitely had a better season, but overall, I still think we're doing okay. But anyway, let's end the season, move clubs, let's see where Paul Pogba goes. And yes, Paul Pogba is still at Real Madrid. Despite a bit of a poor season, he is sticking it out. Let's head on over then, ladies and gentlemen, to FIFA 18. So here we are now in FIFA 18. Paul Pogba still with Real Madrid. And this season, of course, is the last season that Cristiano Ronaldo will be at Real Madrid. So they'll only be teammates for 1 more year, so long as they stay together. He's still only 24 years of age, and he's won so much. Yes, even if last season wasn't his best, we're hoping to get back on track here. Do we get any silverware this season with Pogba at Real Madrid? Well, it looks like Real Madrid will win La Liga again. All they have to do is win their next game, and we are back to winning league titles with Paul Pogba. All we have to do is simulate and win this game against Celta Vigo, and Real Madrid do win the game, and look who scored the goal. Paul Pogba along with Toni Kroos. There it is then, your confirmation after the end of the season that Real Madrid do win another league title. They will not win the Copa del Rey, unfortunately. That one was won by Barcelona, and Real Madrid have not made the Champions League final. They got knocked out again very early by PSG in the round of 16, which means this pretty insane looking star-studded Real Madrid team in the last 2 years has only been able to win one league title. That is it. You can't forget that this team won 3 Champions Leagues in a row between 2016 and 2018, and our last Champions League I think was 2015. I don't really think it's any of Pogba's fault that they're failing to win these trophies. Look at that goal contribution, man. 14 goals and 11 assists from a center midfielder is a great return. 25 goal contributions from 43 games. He continues to outscore the real-life Pogba in a big way, despite having played still 30-something less games than the real Pogba. However, despite having the statistical advantage, the resim Paul Pogba is 2 trophies short compared to the real-life Pogba. Real-life Pogba's got 12 trophies, resim Pogba has 10. But I don't know, you be the judge, because even though we have 2 less trophies, the quality of those trophies I think are a little bit better. You know, multiple La Ligas, multiple Premier Leagues, and a Champions League. I'm just saying. But anyway, it is time to leave the club football because it's 2018, it's a World Cup year, and this was a very special year for Paul Pogba because in real life, he won the FIFA World Cup with France in Russia. But it's time to find out if he can do it again. We are now heading to the FIFA 18 World Cup game mode to simulate the 2018 World Cup. Of course, Paul Pogba is still in this World Cup team with such talent like Griezmann, N'Golo Kanté, and a young Kylian Mbappe. Will this French team get it done again in this resim of Paul Pogba's career? To start off, their first group game goes well with a 3-1 win against Australia. Pogba even scored in this game. The only problem is though, Hugo Lloris got injured in the first game of the World Cup, and Hernandez got himself sent off. So Steve Mandanda is gonna have to step in for Hugo Lloris. In the next game, France win that one 3-0, but look at Paul Pogba. He's picked up an injury as well. This is a disaster. This is not at all how the real life World Cup went down for France, and especially not for that man, Pogba. He's gonna maybe be out now for the rest of the tournament. France are able to win their remaining group stage games, so they still kick on. And believe it or not, they face Croatia in the round of 16, not in the final, like in real life. France is gonna have a totally different run now to the World Cup final. This time they are only just gonna win 2-1, coming back from behind, Mbappe and Griezmann scoring. So this now means they're gonna take on Russia in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Paul Pogba is still injured. And without Paul Pogba, they lose 5-4 in the penalty shootout to Russia. The World Cup winners in real life France are knocked out by the host nation in the quarterfinals. What a disaster. Pogba gets injured and France don't make the World Cup final. So no World Cup in the resim as well for Paul Pogba in 2018. This is starting to get a bit concerning. The real life Pogba is honestly kind of maybe giving us a little bit of our run for our money. I mean, we're not world champions, are we? But anyway, again, we've moved clubs. We're going to simulate another transfer window. It's maybe a pretty brutal thing to say when you've just won the league, but he seems like he's in a bit of a career slump at the moment. I wonder if he'll make the move. He is still at Real Madrid after this transfer window. Right on then. Okay, that means Paul Pogba will remain at Real Madrid for next season. Ronaldo is off to Juventus, so he's going to have to try to carry the load even more so now. Let's advance on forward then to FIFA 19. So here we are in FIFA 19, and no prizes for guessing what player is missing now. That's right, we have a Marcus Asensio void where a Cristiano Ronaldo should have been. He left to join Juventus this season, but we still have Paul Pogba. He's actually now probably one of the most dangerous threats going forward for Real Madrid, even though he's a midfielder, considering the amount of goals he's scored since he's signed for this club. He's still 88 rated, still a world-class player, even if he didn't get his World Cup in 2018. We have another chance with him to still get it. But for now, the focus returns back on a club football. Can Real Madrid get back into the Champions League final? It's been a long time. Real Madrid do win La Liga once again, even without Cristiano Ronaldo in 2019, and they have won it comfortably by 13 plus points. That is now an outrageous, I think, 7 league titles for Paul Pogba. He's only been a professional footballer for 8 seasons. 1 season in his whole career, he's missed out on a league title. He may have won the league again, but he has failed to win the Copa del Rey again. They made the final, but lost 3-0 to Real Betis in the final. And get this, in the Champions League, Real Madrid were knocked out by his old club, Manchester United. So they fail once more to win the Champions League, Real Madrid. It's bizarre, isn't it? Paul Pogba, since coming to Real Madrid, has shifted their fortunes. They are no longer winning Champions Leagues, but they're winning every single league title. It's pretty much the total opposite to what happened to the real-life Real Madrid. But now, in terms of goal contributions, what do we see? 13 goals and 5 assists. That's probably not a crazy big total, in all honesty, for 49 appearances from Paul Pogba. Maybe could have been better. That is almost 10 less goal contributions than the real Paul Pogba got in real life this season. But at least the resim Paul Pogba wins a trophy. As a matter of fact, the real life Paul Pogba will not be adding to his trophy cabinet for the rest of his career. The last trophy that Paul Pogba won was the World Cup. I think it's probably fair to say that we have gone blow for blow with the real life Paul Pogba, but now, at this stage of his career, this is where we need to lock in, keep winning trophies, and make sure we give the recent Pogba a way better career. But will we be continuing his career at Real Madrid? We've reached the end of the season. It's time to change clubs, sim another transfer window. Pogba has been at Real Madrid now for 5 seasons. Will he be joining and staying on for a 6th? No, he will not. We have a new team for Paul Pogba, and he is joining PSG. The Frenchman is going to the biggest team in France. He's going to be joining up with Neymar and with Mbappe. Unbelievable. We finally see Pogba join a new team and play in a completely new league as well. He's going to Ligue 1. This is a crazy move. We know PSG recently won the Champions League in real life. Can Paul Pogba help them win it even earlier? Time to find out how this transfer is going to pay off. Let's head on over to FIFA 20 with Paul Pogba at PSG. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, in FIFA 20. Paul Pogba is a PSG player, and this is going to be insane. Because look at the team that he is now part of. Look at some of the names that are his teammates. Mbappe is his teammate. Neymar is his teammate. Di Maria. With Pogba part of this starting 11, who knows what this PSG team are capable of. The superstars of Neymar and Kylian Mbappe together were unable to get a Champions League with PSG. But with the addition of Paul Pogba, will that change? Now, one thing that we do have to bring up here is Paul Pogba's overall. As you might notice, he's dropped down to an 87. And from this point in his career, honestly, Paul Pogba's overall is going to go nothing but down, sadly. However, this is a resim of his career. So, if he is having a good career, if he is successful, then that should be reflected in his overall. So, we're going to be switching things up a little bit. Paul Pogba's overall is now going to be reflective of how good he is each season going forward, whether he goes down in overall or up in overall. I'll explain it a little bit better at the end of the season because it will come down to things like how many goal contributions he gets, what trophies he wins, what trophies he misses out on. It will all start to make sense in a second, but in order to get there, we have to simulate the first season with PSG. How does Paul Pogba's first season in France go down? Oh my goodness, it goes brilliantly in the league. That is pure domination. I feel sorry for Monaco, who've won 31 out of 37 games, but they are not winning this Ligue 1 title. It's, of course, again going to PSG. PSG win another league title. Paul Pogba wins another league title. What the hell is he up to now? I swear, man. He's got 3 Premier League titles. He won 4 La Liga titles, and now he's added a Ligue 1 to his title collection as well. He's up to 8 league trophies. Goddamn, Paul Pogba might be chasing like Ryan Giggs for the most league titles ever in this resim. Who knows? He's got an 8. In the Coupe Nationale, he won that as well. So that is a domestic double in France to kick things off. But in the Champions League, he's eliminated in the quarterfinals by who else? Barcelona. He may have left Spain, but he cannot escape them. They lose on away goals. And in terms of season stats, have a look at this. 9 goals and 20 assists. Are you for real? That is outrageously good. Pogba's definitely been more of a goal scorer in this resim, but in this particular season, when you've got Neymar and Mbappe, I suppose you need to become a bit more of a distributor. This now takes him up to 99 goals in the resim and 75 assists. He's got one more game played, but with that one more game played, he's got like over 30 goal contributions more. Now, as for Paul Pogba's overall going into FIFA 21 next season, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take his overall at the start of this season, 87, and based off how his season has gone, we're going to come up with a fair overall for next season. Considering he's got 29 goal contributions, that is a fantastic return. And the fact that he won 2 trophies, the Ligue 1 title and the French Cup, I would say that that definitely warrants an upgrade. We are going to be upgrading Paul Pogba's overall to 88 next season. And because he's only just got to PSG, we're not going to bother with the transfer window. Let's keep him for another season at PSG. Let's head on over to FIFA 21. So here we are then, PSG in FIFA 21 with Paul Pogba. And like we said before, in FIFA 21, he had an 86 overall, but because his career is going pretty bloody well, he's come off the back of a very good season, we have gone and given him an 88 overall to reflect his good, consistent career. Will he be able to keep it going? He's still got a 90 rated Mbappe, as well as Neymar, as well as Di Maria, and plenty other very high quality players. This team is definitely capable of getting that second Champions League for Pogba. I think we're about to absolutely eclipse the real life Paul Pogba's career from this point on, because he starts to get into a bit of a lull. His overall drops a bit, but hopefully we can continue to go strength to strength. Well, we're up to 9 league titles for Pogba because we get another Ligue 1 title. I'm not shocked, really. We are not going to add to our French Cup collection, sadly. Collection, there's only one, but we won't get a second because we got knocked out of the semi-finals. And sadly, in the round of 16, we got thumped in the second leg, honestly. We lost 5-3 on aggregate to Atletico Madrid. So only the one trophy this season, again, another Ligue 1 title, but look at the goal contributions. Look at this. He's actually outscored Kylian Mbappe. That is unbelievable. 18 goals, 12 assists. Yeah, he was the distributor last season, but he's back to being a goal scorer again now. In fact, he's up to well over 100 goals now for his career. He's got almost 50 more goals than the real-life Pogba at this point in his career. He has a much better trophy cabinet for club as well. However, he just does not yet have that World Cup. He does have another opportunity coming up soon, though. But first, of course, the time has come. I'm going to leave clubs. We'll simulate another transfer window. And no, Paul Pogba remains at PSG. So he remains at PSG. Let's head on over now to FIFA 22. Paul Pogba remains at PSG. Here we are in FIFA 22. And after a real solid season, we do see Paul Pogba keep his 88 overall. You know, if he had won a few more trophies, got a few more goal contributions, could have bumped it up, but at least it's not a downgrade. Pogba is still teammates with both Neymar and Kylian Mbappe, but he is now a teammate of Lionel Messi's because he's now joined PSG as well. Surely Lionel Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar by themselves will help Paul Pogba to get that second Champions League that we have been chasing now for some time. With the addition of Messi now to PSG, could that be the final piece to get all things together for PSG? To finally win that Champions League. We just managed to win a third in a row league title, only by 2 points, but we have now reached 10 league titles with Paul Pogba. For reference, like Ryan Giggs' 13 and Thomas Muller's 13 all came in the same league. He's got 10 in multiple different leagues. It's outrageous. We're not going to win the French Cup because, again, we got eliminated in the semi-finals. That it's just a repeat, unfortunately. But what about in the Champions League? We managed to beat Bayern Munich in the round of 16, which that was a toughie, but we won it 5-4. We then won again 5-4 on aggregate to Liverpool. And in the semi-finals, we beat Manchester United, Paul Pogba's former club, to reach a Champions League final. And look at who it's against. What a run to the final this is. If we win this, it'll be one of the most outrageous, most impressive UCLs ever. Pogba's former team, Real Madrid. We had to take down another old club in Manchester United to get here. And now Paul Pogba is going to have to do it again. But this time he's got the help of Leo Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar. Is this finally the moment? Paul Pogba gets that coveted second Champions League title? We are going to simulate the final. Let's find out. It is the second Champions League after a penalty shootout. It is going to PSG. Eden Hazard missed the first penalty for Real Madrid. Paul Pogba scored his, that's good. And it looks like Leo Messi scored the winning penalty. Wow, that is huge for his career as well. Now, looking at Paul Pogba's stats for the season, in which he wins a league title and a Champions League, believe it or not, he actually doesn't do all that much in terms of goal contributions. Only 8 goals and 7 assists. That is a bit of a letdown, maybe. He was comfortably outscored and out-assisted by Julian Draxler in way less games. That is concerning. But I suppose, to be fair, he was also dealing with Lionel Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar, who are going to take a fair chunk of the goal contributions. But I don't really feel like you warrant a downgrade when you win a Champions League. So I am once again going to hold his overall at 88. Paul Pogba will be 88 overall next season, but will he still be at PSG? It'd be pretty insane if he left after winning a Champions League, but it's happened before. Will he leave in this transfer window? No, he remains at PSG. All right then, we are going to keep him at PSG for next season. However, as much as we've improved on Paul Pogba's real-life career so far, we are yet to get him that World Cup that he famously got in 2018. He has another chance here in Qatar. Let's head on over to the World Cup. So here we are now in the 2022 FIFA World Cup with France. We are going to have to try to get Paul Pogba his World Cup here because I don't know if he will have another opportunity. If you can believe it, Pogba wasn't actually included in the World Cup squad in 2022, so we are going to be including him into it this time. France's group at this World Cup is, of course, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. They got out of it comfortably. You know they made it to the final with Mbappe's brilliance and whatnot, but they fell short. With Pogba in the team, will it be different? They start off well with a win against Australia. In the next game, they got a draw only to Denmark, Griezmann saving them late. But in the final game of the group, they beat Tunisia 1-0 again. Low-scoring games here, but enough to take them to the round of 16 where they will take on Poland first. And they will get that win against Poland in extra time. And the World Cup's been playing out a little differently this time, but we still arrive at a similar fixture, the quarterfinal against England, which this time around, England do manage to get the win in. France have been knocked out. They don't make the final. England push on. And Paul Pogba, it looks like, will not win a World Cup in this resim. Oh dear, it has not gone well at international level. Not the same way for the real life Paul Pogba. What a shame. What a shame. Now here we are in FIFA 23, still with PSG here with Pogba. And Paul Pogba, almost 30 years of age now, still at an 88 overall. And of course, still playing with the likes of Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, just insane. We finally got him his first Champions League with PSG, his second of his career. But will he be able to help them go back to back? Well, firstly, looking in the league, PSG have failed to win Ligue 1. How does that happen? We lose it by a point and we will not get the 11th title, league title of Paul Pogba's career. Wow, I can't believe it. PSG also make the final of the Coupe Nationale, but Marseille beat us 4-2. And in the Champions League, we are eliminated on aggregate by goddamn Spurs. Tottenham have knocked us out in the semi-finals. This is brutal stuff. And for only the second time in his entire career in this resim, Paul Pogba is going to go trophyless with a PSG super team. That is a stinker, and his goal contributions are way off what they usually are as well. 7 goals only this season, and he doesn't even get double-digit assists. He gets 9 assists. That is not a very good season for a now 30-year-old Pogba. However, though, he does now go over 100 career assists, so that's not too bad for Paul Pogba. I mean, definitely better than real life, but yeah, not ideal. He actually got a very similar amount of goal contributions last season, but we didn't give him a downgrade because, for crying out loud, he won the Champions League. This season, however, I think a downgrade is probably warranted. We're going to take him from an 88 overall to an 86 overall when we move over to FC 24. But again though, before we do that, let's end the season. Let's simulate the transfer window. Does Paul Pogba move? No, he doesn't. Despite maybe having the worst season of his career, at least in a good long while, he is sticking it out at PSG. He's going to get a downgrade. He will still be 86 though rated. That's decent enough. He will still be okay. Let's move over to FC 24. So here we are, still in France with PSG and FC 24. As you can see, Pogba's still in the team, but Leo Messi is now gone, of course. He's left for Inter Miami. But he still has Mbappe, he still has Neymar, and he still has a high-ish 80 overall with an 86. Still, you know, one of the higher rated players in this PSG team, but as long as he keeps on getting, you know, good ratings, overalls, goal contributions, wins trophies, that overall should stay at least about the same. The only way for him to go up in overall is for him to have a banger of a season, to win a Champions League, but how many times will he be able to do that? Let's find out, people. Has he got a third Champions League in him with Mbappe, with Neymar still in this team? Is it possible? Well, starting off in the league, looks like Marseille gave us a run for our money, but we have got it. An 11th league title for Paul Pogba. Ryan Giggs, your record of 13, we are coming for you. We also picked up the French Cup as well, the Coupe Nationale against Monaco, 3-2 there, so we do the double. That's fantastic. However, in the Champions League, a round of 16 early exit to his former team, Real Madrid, 4-2 on aggregate. Paul Pogba remains a two-time European champion only, I mean, for crying out loud. But this season, I've got to say, that's the most lackluster season that we have seen from him so far. Only 28 appearances, that's not great. Only 2 goals and only 6 assists. So for the first time in a long, long time, he has less than 10 double-digit goal contributions. That is not ideal. An average match rating of 6.8 is also not that great. But I'm gonna have to give Paul Pogba a downgrade. We're gonna make him 85 rated next season when we go into FC 25. However, will he still be part of PSG when we go into next season? Here we go, advance to the next season. Will he still be at PSG? We're gonna move to a different club, let the transfer window simulate. And oh my goodness, we do have a move! It's a Judas move as well! Paul Pogba has done a reverse Luis Figo. He is going to Barcelona. Wow! A Real Madrid, former Real Madrid man is going to the bitter rivals in Catalonia. I mean, look, it's been a long time. It's been like 4 or 5 years since, of course, he left Real Madrid, but still, that is going to sting, and that is not going to go over well with Real Madrid fans. But there we have it though, people. Pogba's got a new club. He is going to Barcelona. Let's head on over to FC 25. Well, who could have possibly seen this coming? Paul Pogba joining Barcelona at the age of 31 in 2025, 85 rated. And it's so bizarre. If you look at the starting 11, you've got Dani Olmo, you've got like Pedri, De Jong, and I mean, he's not like a guarantee to be starting here either. Like, he was almost assured a starting 11 spot at PSG. Now he's come here. I'm not sure if he's going to even play that much. I am a little concerned here, but time will tell if this is a good move or not for him. But Barcelona is prone to this, you know, picking up a early to mid 30s, especially midfielder, like they've done it with Vidal, who is kind of like, that was a weird pickup for them, but you know, not too bad of a signing still. And now they've done it here with Pogba. It's going to be a feisty return back to the Bernabeu, that's for sure. But how does his first season at Barcelona go? Well, from a trophy standpoint, it's been a good move because Barcelona has won La Liga. Pogba is up to 12 league titles in his career. This is insane. And he does it by getting into his rivals' side, his former rivals, and beating his former team, Real Madrid. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. He loses the Copa de España final to Las Palmas. What a story that is. And as for the Champions League, Barcelona had PSV in the round of 16. They got that done. In the quarterfinals, they had Dortmund. They got that done. And in the semi-finals, they had Liverpool. They got that done. Look what the other fixture was. PSG won on penalties. And we have got a PSG versus Barcelona Champions League final. Are you goddamn kidding me? It is time to find out if Pogba made the right move. Who is going to win this Champions League final? Will it be PSG? Will it be Barcelona? It is going to be Barcelona! They have won it 2-1. Can you believe it? Rafinha scores the winning goal. Who else got the other goal for Barcelona? It was Pedri. Well, Barcelona ended, Pogba started, by the way. He got subbed off at the 60-minute mark. But Pogba is now, he was nearly a treble winner. Nearly a treble winner after just losing out the Copa del Rey final. But he will lift up a third Champions League trophy. What a move. It worked out, thankfully for him. Can you actually believe it that in real life, Pogba he was out of a job. He didn't even have a club. He wasn't playing in this season. And now he's going to win the Champions League and become a champion of Spain at the same time. Statistically though, how did he go? Oofed. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, my boy. That is 42 appearances for 1 goal and 3 assists only. Yikes, that's not ideal. He had a 6.23 average match rating. Yeah, that's pretty poor. I won't lie, I have no idea how the game's given him a +1 overall. His goal contributions barely move an inch, but still his trophy cabinet grows. A La Liga title, another one. What are we up to now? Is that 5 La Liga titles now that he's up to? 4 with Real Madrid, and now 1 with Barcelona. And he's also picked up his 3rd Champions League. But with all that said, even though he's a European champion, you cannot ignore the goal contributions. You cannot ignore that average match rating. I'm going to have to give him another downgrade from 85, not even down to 84. I think 83 is probably going to have to be a little bit more realistic considering his own individual performances. Will he care? I don't know after winning another Champions League, but forget about it. Let's move on now to the final season. Is he going to care after winning a Champions League? I'm not so sure, but let's move on now, finally at last, to FC 26. And here we are. We arrive at FC 26 with Paul Pogba in a Barcelona shirt still with an 83 overall. Of course, in real life, he's currently playing at Monaco, coming off the bench, but here he's coming off of the bench with a slightly higher rating, I reckon, than what he would probably have right now in real life, an 83, and honestly, again, not starting for this Barcelona team, I don't think. Not getting in over Dani Olmo or Pedri or De Jong, or even in real life, Fermin Lopez or, I'm not even sure. Gavi, 83 rated. He's in the rotation, but he's not going to be a starting option. But nonetheless, people, we from this point on are just going to simulate until eventually he retires. We're going to still keep track of his stats and trophies, find out what he finishes with, and we'll recap it all when we do get to the end. Don't forget, we are also chasing that record of 13 league titles to try to break the Ryan Giggs record. Is it going to happen? Let's find out. Well, we are not going to get that record-tying 13th league title here this season. Real Madrid have beaten us to it. How unfortunate. We are going to need to go again with Pogba if we are to get it. We do win the Copa de España, so that's another trophy we're going to pick up this season. And that actually is the 20th trophy of our career with Pogba. We won't be making it 21 in the Champions League, unfortunately, but still. PSG ends up winning it. Good for them. Look at this. Paul Pogba has only made 5 appearances. But from those 5 appearances, he scored more goals than he did last season. So that's not too bad. I think he actually did pick up, unfortunately, an injury. So that is part of the reason why he didn't play as much. But still not great, being 33, only having played 5 games. And of course, his overall has now dropped down naturally in game to an 82, which I'm okay with. I can actually just let the game naturally allow his overall to adjust because I think it'll stay pretty realistic. I think it's fair to say that we are definitely starting to see the tail end of Pogba's career here. He maybe might have a year or two left where he can do something. He does actually have, from the look of things, 2 more seasons left on his contract, which I'm sure we'll let that run out unless we'll simulate the transfer window. I don't see maybe him being sold. I mean, he could be sold, possibly. Let's start up a new season, advance on forward, simulate the transfer window. And yeah, having advanced on forward, no offers for Pogba. He's still here. I imagine he could probably just see out the rest of his contract, honestly. Unless he goes to Saudi, I don't see him getting a bigger contract. He's also down to 81 already, so that overall could slide into the 70s pretty quickly if he's not careful. But advancing ahead with another season, and come on, Pogba, you probably only got 1 or 2 more chances to get that 13th league title. We do get it! We do get our 13th league title with Pogba, and it's an absolutely clear win. In the end, 98 points. Oh my, what a season. I just hope that Pogba had some involvement. Hopefully he played at least 5 games, otherwise he probably wouldn't even get a medal. No Copa del Rey this season, unfortunately. However, in the Champions League, yeah, unfortunately, it was an exit pretty early in the round of 16. But Paul Pogba has done it. He has played 7 games. He's got 0 goal contributions, 0 assists. Bro is barely playing, but he played 5 games in the league. It counts. He is an equal record holder with the Ryan Giggs. 6 La Liga titles, 4 Ligue 1 titles, and 3 Premier Leagues. That is pretty damn incredible. Either way, Paul Pogba, mate, go ahead and drink it in. You've earned it. Let's do it then, people. Let's finish up the career of Paul Pogba. Let's go for that final 14th league title. With Gavi up to 85, De Jong 88, and Pedri up to 93, I don't know if a 77 now rated Pogba has any chance of playing at all. Let's just finish it off. Let's just see what he can do. One last hurrah for Paul Pogba at Barcelona. What do we do in the last season? There will be no league title to go clear of Ryan Giggs with 14. They're going to have to split the honor. 2 legends now, Pogba and Giggs. Copa del Rey to finish off possibly his career here. We'll have to wait and see, but that's a nice trophy to end on. Because they're not going to end on a Champions League. No, Liverpool win it this year. They don't even come close. Barcelona had a bit of an off year, but still won a trophy. Paul Pogba, quite astonishingly, actually played quite a fair few games this season, which I really can't believe, even if it was off the bench. Look at the average match rating, though. He must have been coming off the bench. At only 6.09, 1 assist in 33 games. Ugh, yeah, and he's down now to a 73. Can't believe anyone with that low rating is playing for Barcelona. And yeah, with a 73 overall at 35 and without another season on his contract, Paul Pogba is retiring at the end of the season, and he will retire with the most league titles along with Ryan Giggs. He's also going to retire with 600 games played. He's going to retire with 139 goals scored, and in terms of assists, he gets 113. He also collects a very impressive 23 trophies in his entire career, with, of course, 13 of them being league titles, and of course, with 3 of them being Champions Leagues. That is an amazing career, but of course, we missed out on that World Cup. That maybe could potentially be a big, decider for a lot of people as to who had the better career. Because the World Cup is obviously huge, but I think we can't deny that the club career of Paul Pogba in this resim has been astronomically better. I'll let you decide who you think had the better career, but that will do it for this one. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you all for the next video, hopefully very soon, but if you can't wait till then, here is another video for you to enjoy.